Hello, I'm Declan McLean and welcome to Book Reviews. The novel we'll be looking at today is called The Sisters Brothers, written by Patrick DeWitt. The Sisters Brothers is a Western novel with mature content but a comedic writing style. The story takes place in 1851 and tells the story of two brothers named Charlie and Eli Sisters, who have been tasked by their boss, known as the Commodore, to kill a man named Herman Kermit Warm. The story is told from the perspective of Eli's Sisters, who is the younger brother and is much more relatable than his older brother Charlie. During this story, we learn a lot about the relationship between these two brothers, as well as the way that Eli sees the world around him. That's just a short synopsis of the novel. Now let's move on to what I really want to talk about, the theme. The theme that I found most interesting in this novel was how you can never know the complete truth of something without hearing the story from multiple perspectives. This theme is depicted in the novel by the brothers realizing that the man they've been ordered to kill hasn't really done anything to deserve being murdered. After hearing some backstory about Worm from someone else's perspective other than the Commodore, they begin to question how justified each of the murders they've committed has been. They pause and reflect on the previous jobs the Commodore ordered, realizing that there's always been information lacking in what he told them, meaning his motivations haven't always been as morally just as the brothers had assumed. After processing this newfound information, the brothers now think to themselves, what do we do now? They are now stuck between continuing the path the Commodore has set out for them, ignoring his sinister intentions, or choosing to turn against their own boss, losing their jobs and creating many enemies along the way. By the end of it all, Eli himself decides that he will turn against the Commodore in a brutal manner. All of these events build up to the conclusion that what one person tells you will always never be the full truth of something, and you should never make judgments based on just that information, even if the person telling you this is someone you're meant to trust. This is a very powerful and impactful message that this novel is teaching, and it does a good job of expressing this theme in an effective and effortless manner. After reading this novel, I feel that I've become more aware of how easily misinformation can spread and how it can be very dangerous. I would say that as a result of reading this book, in the future I will never be too quick to make judgments and become better at finding out the real truth of something. Any book that can teach a lesson that important, I would say, is worth a read. Overall, I would strongly recommend reading this book. As long as you're not disturbed by a bit of violence, it will be really easy to read through. Because the writing style is very simple and the chapter lengths are generally short, people of low and high reading levels will be able to enjoy it. Once again, this novel is called The Sisters Brothers, written by Patrick DeWitt. I hope you enjoyed.